Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. The time for talk is over as we are just mere moments away from the Super Bowl. Two teams now have a chance to prove they are the best. It's the Eagles going up against the Patriots.
Larry, this 2017 season has given us enough thrills to last a lifetime, and now only one game remains, and it's the one we've all been waiting for, as EA Sports is proud to welcome you to coverage of Super Bowl 52 from 2-year-old U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We are honored to be here for the biggest spectacle in sports, the Super Bowl. Are you ready, partner?
I am more than ready, and I love the word you used. Honored, because it is an honor to be here. It's a privilege to be here. My excitement is just about to burst through the booth. I can't wait to do this.
Well, and sitting with both of these teams and talking in the meetings and media day and all the hoopla that goes into this, there was one common theme. They're ready to stop the talking and start playing football.
Yeah, they were probably ready a while ago. Now they can just focus on it. It's done. The only talking they have to worry about now is post-game, and they hope that they'll be talking.
And we'll see. You know, both sides come in with a game plan to start. We'll see how the adjustments are made throughout, because there are always adjustments in this game.
I want to see if they come out conservative, trying to minimize errors, or if they have enough confidence to attack early and try and take advantage of the other team's nervousness.
Well over 100 million people watching around the world. Welcome to you all. Super Bowl 52 underway from Minneapolis. Set to return. This is Brandon Cooks. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Fifth-round pick of the Eagles. This is Dion Lewis. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Second down and just one. They try again with Lewis. Spins past it. And some room to roam now. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Brady gives this one to Lewis. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up third and about 6. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. Throwing is Brady on third down. This is caught. It's Cooks. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and a long one at that. And the Pats have taken the early lead. And on the grandest of stages, with a whole world watching the Super Bowl, they come out and get the first points.
I don't know how you feel about Brandon, but for me, watching the beginning of the Super Bowl, I've often wondered how come it's not just a fumble fest? How come the ball's not all over the place? The nerves, the interim in between of the 2 weeks waiting for the game. But this team came out and handled it just like it was a regular season walk in the park. Terrific start.
And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
Pretty incredible, wouldn't you say, that he gets to the Super Bowl in his second season in the league? Absolutely fantastic. Now, others have done it. Dan Marino did it his second year with the Miami Dolphins. Colin Kaepernick did it in his second year with San Francisco. Tom Brady, Russell Wilson. But it's no guarantee that you ever get back, so you have to make the most of that opportunity.
The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. Wentz now to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Wentz to throw on second down. It's hauled in by Torrey Smith. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. From the gun on third down, Wentz. The open man is Smith. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Here's Wentz to throw, escaping the pressure right. Back-to-back nice gains, that one for 14 yards and another first. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On second down, here's Wentz. Screen pass to Blunt. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now it's Ajayi. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Now Wentz throwing on second down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Bryce Treggs from 21 yards away. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Here's Cooks on the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to air it out deep for Amendola. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. Alshon Jeffrey. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 70 yards. And the Eagles have taken the lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Now Sturgis on to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This one fielded at the 5. Now the Patriots offense, they worked their way back out onto the field. And last time, one play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now Brady on the bootleg. And over the middle to the tight end, Bennett. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down. So a spirited first quarter here in Super Bowl 52. 14-7 is the score. The NFL on EA Sports continues right after this message.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Now they'll run with Lewis. And some room to maneuver. Past the 20. And he is out of bounds just a yard or two shy of the 10. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fit defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Brady now on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong. He's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
From the gun on third down, Brady. And that is incomplete.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. At first, I thought that might have been a bobbled snap. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Try to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. First down. They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. On first and 10, here's Wentz. And an alley to run. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
This is Ajayi looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Now it looks like we've got a Patriot down, slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Play action. Wentz rolling to his right. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. So a development here as Wentz is out. And now all eyes here on the backup as he takes under center. A first throw for the backup, Foles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So second and 10 here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Foles. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be taken down deep into Patriot territory. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 41 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Here's Ajayi. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. Throwing is Wentz. And this one's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
The way he's been slinging it in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's got to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Wentz. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Shane McClellan in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. A reminder, coming up at the intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Larry Ridley and the crew in Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report. So they started that drive from the shadows of their own end zone all the way back at the 2, and they're able to get 3 out of it.
And, you know, shadows tend to scare people, right? Not in this case. This offense was not jumpy at all, handled it very well, put themselves into a position to score.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Dion Lewis getting set to go again here with his guys on offense. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? It's a big play there for the Patriots. 43 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another 1st down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
This is caught. Gronkowski. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now Brady again. toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The wideout, Chris Hogan, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
He spins free, and he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half. 17
yards is the pickup there for number 17. Wentz now on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. Nice. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Carson Wentz in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Point after now from Sturgis. And the lead is up to 14. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And was polished off by the touchdown run from the 16-yard line. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The final shot before half for Brady. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So these two teams will head back to their respective...
Do you seriously just skip the halftime of the Super Bowl? Who does that?
It's a Super Bowl. Watch the halftime show. All right, here we go. 3rd quarter action now. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Throwing now is Wentz. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left side. He's got it at the 15. A big play there for Philly. 59 yards. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
To throw is Wentz. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Well, those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On play action, it's Brady. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. The new acquisition, Martellus Bennett, the intended target. And it's 3rd and short.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved.
False start, offense.
That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
On 3rd and long, it's Brady. The throw left side, complete to Hogan. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there. Get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
There's no secret to beating a 3-4 when you're trying to run the ball up the middle. You have to control the guy over the nose of the center. And oftentimes, he's awfully hard to move. That's why he's there. A big guy, usually north of 300 pounds, with some agility. But somehow, you got to figure out how to move him. And most teams will double the nose. center, and a guard, trying to move him to one side or the other. And when they're able to do that successfully, as just happened here, that's when you get big-time running plays.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
They run. This is Lewis. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now Lewis. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now they'll throw with Brady. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Martellus Bennett, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. To throw, it's Brady. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off that lead.
And now you put the pressure on your defense, who didn't particularly play all that well in the first half. But they're going to need to step it up here and make some plays if these guys are going to have any chance.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. Forced out to his left. There he goes inside the 30. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the tuck and run. Into the red zone. Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for.
And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Now Sturgis on to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. This is Gillisley. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard second down. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Brady to throw on second down. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he brings it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got the guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They stay on the ground. This is Gillisley again. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Brady going to try and throw on 3rd down. Going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Michael Kendricks in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time.
Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now Brady. It's caught left side by Cooks. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down. 2 minutes to go here in Super Bowl 52 from Minneapolis. We're back to crown a champion after this. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Fresh set of downs here. Throwing on first down is Brady. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. So the offense lining up 1st and 10. And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. So the penalty by the offense, and now they face a 1st and 15. Shotgun now for Brady. Allen's got it over the middle. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Brady. His throw incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
They'll begin the drive with a jive. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Wentz to throw. Rolling to his left. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the 1st down. They run with a jive. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And that is incomplete.
I think someone's going to get in the QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the 2nd person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, 2nd drive, not much better. And a gain there of 11 yards.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
And he's got this one down to the 10. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And this one incomplete. Well, apparently taking a knee is not in vogue. They're not able to add another touchdown on. And now the ball game is over. And the Lombardi Trophy will rest in the city of brotherly love. The Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.
This is the last opportunity to resign your players, or they will become free agents. All combine stats such as the 40-yard dash are now available in scouting. Check it out. Welcome to Draft Week. All the effort you spend scouting comes down to this. Start the draft when you're ready.
The Jets are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. Let's go to Adam Schefter now, who's got more to say about the Dolphins' latest pick.
When I ask scouts around the league what his biggest asset is, they always point to his father. His dad is a high school coach that knows how to consistently finish in the top of the school's division. And ever since he was able to walk, he's been on the sidelines for every game. Even after he leaves practice at night, he's still getting advice from his dad at home. And from what I've heard from scouts who've watched him play, you can tell the extra coaching has helped. Even during interviews at the Combine, I was told by several GMs that he was one of their favorite players to talk to. He has his dad's eye for the game, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him become a coach one day himself. I like him a lot, and he'll be a great addition to the team.
The Browns are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. Our very own Adam Schefter has more to say about this pick.
The title of workout warrior gets thrown around a lot, but if there's one guy who deserves the tag, it's got to be him. I guess he wasn't satisfied with his combine numbers since he requested a redo on every physical test during his pro day. And boy, he sure didn't disappoint. From the 40 to the 3-cone drill and even the 20-yard shuttle, he was faster across the board. This is the kind of linebacker defensive coordinators drool over. He has the speed to move from sideline to sideline and slide into the nickel to cover the slot. After his workout was over, he even asked scouts if there was more they wanted to see. Seriously? I like this guy's attitude, and I know the team will too.
The Steelers are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock.
Let's go to Adam now, who's got more on the Patriots' last pick.
He entered the season drawing comparisons to some of the most feared defensive linemen in NFL history after a midseason disappearing act that saw him record just 2 tackles in 5 games. Many scouts were left shaking their heads in disbelief. Even with the growing concern over his lack of production, there were some GMs who felt his poor stat lines were a direct result of the increased focus he began receiving as a result of his hot start. One pointed specifically to reports of offensive coordinators fashioning entire game plans around avoiding him, knowing that his fellow linemen were incapable of picking up his mantle. He'll now have a chance to prove believers right, as he's expected to see significant playing time in the preseason with a line far superior to the one he had in college.
The Jets are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Dolphins have just picked up Brown. Adam, what more can you tell us?
I'm not surprised to see him taken with this pick, given he was probably one of the most dominant defensive linemen in college this season. His combination of athleticism and set of pass rush moves gave college offensive linemen fits and gave him a leg up on the rest of the competition. Pass rushers are at a premium in the NFL these days, and when someone with his talent is available, you need to take him. If his performance this season is any indication, he has the potential to be a playmaker on the defensive line for years to come.
Let's go to Shefty now with more on Sullivan.
Matt Miller was glued to the ongoing soap opera that was his story this season. A feared pass rusher, he couldn't quite seem to play with the same intensity on a week-to-week basis. Some weeks he looked absolutely unstoppable, terrorizing opposing quarterbacks. Others he looked out of place, struggling to make any sort of impact, even taking himself out of the game multiple times in fits of frustration. Some GMs I spoke to felt that his lack of consistency was due to a lack of maturity, something that can be easily addressed by the right coaching staff. This pick could have tremendous upside or could end up as a what could have been story. It should be interesting to see how this saga plays out.
All right, team is now off the clock. Adam Schefter, can you tell us about their newest player?
He's a Heisman-winning defender. Let me say that one more time. He won the Heisman, and he's a defensive player. Need I say more? You can imagine how well he played this season to win the biggest award in college over several offensive playmakers. The trophy was well-deserved, and according to Matt Miller, he projects really well as a defender in the NFL. I think this is a home run pick, and it's great to see a defender get some well-deserved recognition.
The Packers are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Giants hoping to build something solid with Carpenter.
A skilled running back with a nose for the end zone, his draft stock got a shot in the arm after setting a team record for single-game rushing touchdowns. He's a unique mixture of speed, power, and agility, reminding some draft experts of Emmitt Smith. Sources I spoke with absolutely love his linebacker mentality, refusing to go out of bounds and taking on defenders in hopes of extra yards wherever and whenever possible. He should see immediate action in the preseason and compete for the starting spot.
The Chargers are now on the clock. Chargers pick is in. Let's go to Adam with more on Hunter.
No receiver had a rougher outing at the All-Star game than he did. Even though he was targeted plenty of times throughout the game, he came away with a giant 0 on the stat sheet. When I asked Matt Miller what the issue was, he told me there were several problems. For one, he never seemed to build chemistry with the quarterbacks on the roster. The timing of the throws, in combination with his routes, made each pass a difficult one to bring in. He also seemed to be the most tightly covered receiver, even though they cycled through different defenders each drive. He had a difficult time adjusting to the faster play and rarely got separation from the corner to make an open field grab. Regardless of his issues, the fact that he was drafted tells me the team wasn't concerned with his play at the All-Star game. Maybe a little consistency is all he needs.
The Steelers are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock.
Let's go to Adam Schefter now, who's got more to say about the Browns' latest pick.
Matt Miller and a number of other scouts told me he was their favorite offensive lineman to watch at the All-Star game. Following a great senior year, he came into All-Star week looking like one of the better lineman prospects this year. And right from the start, the coaches challenged him using blitz packages and other stunts to see how he would react. He handled everything that was thrown at him and not once looked overwhelmed or gassed from the extra attention. Todd McShay tells me he looked like a dominant force on the line, keeping the quarterback clean and opening holes for the tailback to run through. He should be a great fit on this team's offensive line and possibly a day one starter.
The Packers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock.
The 49ers are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Cowboys selection is Gordon.
In what could be seen as a controversial pick, here's a player who has been followed by quite the reputation as a wild child during his years in college. Numerous social media outlets followed and shared his all-field collegiate exploits, submarining his draft stock. Even with his party boy perception, many of my sources told me that this was simply a case of boys will be boys and not the foreshadowing of a larger issue. Look for this coaching staff to keep him extremely busy, hoping to avoid any unwanted publicity. This task may be easier said than done, especially given all the potential off-field distractions that come with being in the NFL. He has the potential to be his own worst enemy, and should he be unable to focus on the opportunity ahead of him, this pick could end up being one of the biggest busts of the draft.
The Giants are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. All right, let's go to Adam Schefter, who's got more on this pick.
A fundamentally sound offensive lineman whose last collegiate season was ended prematurely by a nasty ankle injury. He's a guy who has the potential to become a centerpiece on the line for years to come. If there's one point of contention about him, it's that after talking to several of my sources, there's a significant worry about the strength of his surgically repaired right ankle. The original injury happened when the ankle appeared to buckle while he was not engaged, raising some serious questions about leg strength. He's been known as a bit of a power lifter with exceptional upper body strength, leading some strength coaches to openly question if this explosive lifting is putting additional stress on his leg joints. He looked good at the combine with excellent lateral movement pushing off the ankle in question. We probably won't know how well that ankle holds up until about a year from now after he's been through the rigors of an entire NFL season.
The Packers are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock.